Good morning and welcome to Racing Across America, live from Gulfstream Park. I'm Seth Merrow on this Friday morning, the day before the Florida Derby. As Racing Across America lives up to its name, we've been down here for the past few days. We were out at Palm Meadows yesterday, taped some interviews, got some videotape yesterday. We'll have some live guests today and tomorrow at 8 a.m. We'll be replaying the shows both days at 9 a.m. Tune in, spread the word. We're happy to be down at Gulfstream, sponsoring us throughout their championship season. Of course, Gulfstream Park champions start here, and this weekend a champion ends up here as Nyquist, the 2-year-old Eclipse winner from last year, is going to be in the Florida Derby tomorrow, Saturday. A meeting of undefeateds, Mohaymen, Nyquist, both undefeated, East Coast versus West Coast, capping off what will be a big day and a big meet. And to talk a little bit about it, I'm happy to be joined right now by PJ Campo, the Vice President of Racing for Stronach and the Gulfstream Park track. Good morning, PJ.
Good morning. How are you?
Happy to have you on board,
Good.
Certainly, particularly on this big weekend. And let's just start out before we get an overview. Talk a little bit about the big race tomorrow. I mean, we've just barely gotten out of March, and we're also already having a battle of undefeateds.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here, and, you know, it's a very rare occasion for this to happen, so we're real pumped up here.
Yeah, it's clearly a very, very big day, no question about it. And it's supported by how many stakes races tomorrow?
8 stakes.
8 stakes, and a card that, again, the Oaks, the Florida Derby, and capping off. When is last day of this championship meet?
Sunday.
So we've been going back since December. Now we're wrapping up with the Gulfstream Park Derby and the Gulfstream Oaks, and a big stakes card as well. So we're looking forward to that, but we also want to go back and talk a little bit about last weekend, which is part of a big meet. You had the Rainbow Six carryover last weekend. Talk about that big day, which set records handle-wise.
I tell you, we're very fortunate. I said that, you know, this is a bet that was created by Tim Ritvo at Gulfstream Park, and we kind of just took it off from there, and it's one of those things that just has to build. And we're fortunate we got a, you know, basically almost a $26 million day out of it.
And you know what I found amazing? When I was doing my show up in New York for probably the past 3 weeks, I kind of jumped in at about $700,000 with the carryover because the consoles were still, it could be logical and you could still get $1,200 or $1,500. And so I was kind of jumping in. But as it got up to about maybe $2 million or so, people were putting in $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 on the weekends a day.
Well, you know, and that's the way to play it, you know, and that's the exciting part about it. The consoles, you know, there's such a big factor there that, you know, you can make, you know, with a minimal wager, you can make some serious cash on it. And, you know, when you're getting up to $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in the carry in one day, you know, it's very exciting. And for us, it's like that's a whole nother race from a handle perspective. So, you know, it's a great bet. You know, you don't have to bet a lot, you know, to win something back, and we're very excited that it's a unique thing and the fans really like it.
Yeah, I jumped on board a couple of years ago and hit a couple of times for $1,200 or $1,500. I had a couple of small ones this year, $400 and $190, but it refreshed the bankroll, and I was able to keep playing right through Saturday and taking some shots, and that was a lot of fun. So big handle day, obviously, with the Rainbow Six and the handle overall last Saturday. But talk about the meet in general, which has just been fabulous. And I was looking up the stats. Went up from 2013 to 2014, 14 to 15, and it'll be up again this year.
You know, it's amazing to have the growth the way the industry is right now, and we're very fortunate, you know, that we can be a big part of that. And, you know, Gulfstream Park, you know, has been, last year, I think, on our product, we did almost $1.4 billion, and we're actually up 15% this year. Which is a tremendous number. We have a great team here. The product is very good, and you know, the championship meet's a real grind. It's 4 months, and it's and really the rest of the year is just growing the product. And you know, that's Mr. Stronach and the executive team's, you know, vision to have a year-round product, and we really have gotten it off the ground. And you know, kudos to the horsemen and the fans to really watch us, and we're very excited to keep it growing.
And you talk about that 4 months on the championship meet. Every Friday, every Saturday and Sunday upstate, we have a handicapping show on in the morning, and Gulfstream has been in the mix for us since, you know, back in December. And we have commented every week, the field size has been phenomenal right through the entire meet. And you know, you think in December, okay, you guys are putting together 10, 11, 12 races a day with big, full competitive fields that are fun to bet, and you think, well, this has got to end at some point, but it hasn't. It's been right through the entire meet.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. I mean, field size here consistently has been almost 10. for the last 2 years that I've been here, and it's not an easy task, and it's you're at when you play a game outdoors, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature, and December and January this past year it seemed like we had an extraordinary amount of rain. Actually, it was the rainiest winter since 1905 from what they told us, and we're very fortunate. The horsemen, they run here, and really it's just giving an overall program for all the horses that you have, and that's the key.
Yeah, and talk a little bit, too, because I commented on this, and I would love to get your thoughts. And, of course, when you were up in New York, we're up in upstate New York. People remember PJ from those days. We were overseeing the racing up there as well. But I've talked about it, the field size. Is it a function of the horses you have available? Because yesterday morning we were up at Palm Meadows. You have Palm Beach Downs here. You have Payson Park, and, of course, all the stabling here at Gulfstream. Does just that horse population play into it? Yeah,
it does, and it's a combination of things, and it's a combination of the types of races you have and the horsemen, and making sure that everybody has a chance to run. These owners and trainers put a lot of money up, and you want to make sure that from top to bottom they have an opportunity. I mean, at Gulfstream we have about 1,250 stalls. Gulfstream Park West, we have another 400. Palm Meadows is full with 1,300, and then you have the other training facilities that they're not bound to run here. They can run any place they want. Tampa or here, but some guys getting their horses ready to go back up north, and that's expected. But at the end of the day, it's really the overall product of what you have available, and make sure everybody has an opportunity.
And it's got to be satisfying when you look at just not the day-to-day racing, but when you look at the higher end, the stakes quality you've had here. XY Jet, who ran so well here and established himself in the sprint division, a little ding coming back from Dubai, but he ran great in Dubai. M. Shawish, I think, is going to be a player no matter where he goes going forward. Lady Shipman ran here earlier in the meet. But then on the human side, you get all the top trainers as well. And you have 2 Eclipse winners in the jockey colony. You have Tyler Gaffleone, who was the apprentice, and Javier Castellano as well.
Yeah, and it's great to have, and we're very fortunate. I tell you, from soup to nuts, from owners, trainers, jockey, horses, for 4 months, which is, it's even almost 5 months, it's really a long time. And, we kick off the year with the Claim and Crown on opening day, and we've really built on the big days here, and we have such an opportunity, and it's a tribute to everyone, from the horsemen to the staff to the breeders, to the fans. Everyone makes it happen.
And talk a little bit about, you alluded to it, you mentioned the claiming crowd, announced that it's going to be here through 2018, and it really seems to have developed into a nice kickoff to the championship season for you guys.
It has, and it was a series that was really, when it was brought to Gulfstream, revived, and I think the National HPPA and TOBA and the Horsemen and Gulfstream Park have a really great relationship, and really want to continue to build in that program. I mean, when your average field size is 12 in the Claiming Crown, and you're able to give away $1 million in purses, and that's what kicks off your meet. I mean, that's really a great way to start.
Yeah, as I say, it's special and kind of does kick it off in a very, very good way. Let's talk a little bit about the shift in the in the product here to a year-round racing product.
Well, the Gulfstream Park Championship meet, will end on Sunday, and then, we have, that's usually, it's around 64 or so race days, and, then we race year-round. We go 5 days a week until the middle of June, then we cut back to 4 days, and then we'll leave Gulfstream, I think, around October 1st, go to, the old Calder, Gulfstream Park West for 2 months, and then we come back for the championship meet. And, it's really building on that, and there's such an opportunity when, so many horsemen are looking for year-round opportunities and not moving so much, and, they have families and clients wanting to be in certain places. So I think there's a huge opportunity really for us to grow the summer program, and, having guys like, Mark Cassie and Ronnie Werner and Ralph Nix and, Mike Maker, those guys are going to be participating here this summer, and those are names that everybody knows, and to continue to build on that, we have a lot of success hopefully in front of us.
Of course, tomorrow's going to be a big day. This place will be jam-packed, but you've had a good crowd all throughout the meet here in the wintertime. Obviously, you get the snowbirds down here. That place, walking around the track yesterday, I had probably 10 people walk up to me and say, hey, you flew up to New York, see you on TV. And so a lot of the folks come down here in the wintertime, but all year round. Let's talk about the facility a little bit, because the last time I was down here, it was this new facility, but It was pretty much a parking lot out in front. There were not the malls, the shops, and the restaurants. And we ate right here at the Yard House a couple of nights ago. It's really nice. The place was jam-packed with people. Talk about the facility, the entire facility itself, and how that helps to bring in some fans.
You know, it's probably the only racetrack in America that you can say you have a village, a casino, and a racing entity, and, you know, a first-class race entity, that being said. And, you know, we're very fortunate. It's, you know, Mr. Stronach was a big believer when he did this and is just following out what he built, and, you know, having free parking and free admission and I mean, you walk around here on the weekend or a Friday afternoon and you'll see families and you know, kids in strollers and young people, and, you know, we have tiki areas where, you know, kids can come out, and it's just, it's a great feel. And, you know, very seldom you'll see, you know, it's one of those things where around the paddock area, where can you see horses being walking around and you're in a mall or village type atmosphere, and it's, you know, even at night, you leave here at night, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and there's a ton of people walking around, you know, eating, drinking, having a good time. And we have music here in the village on Fridays and Saturday nights. So we're very fortunate to carry out Mr. Stronach's vision, and, you know, we're very blessed to be here and continue to, you know, grow on what we have.
And let's talk a little bit about the Stronach organization more overall, because besides here at Gulfstream Park, of course, Santa Anita, Laurel, Pimlico, Golden Gate as well, Director, VP of Racing Operations, so you oversee some of that other action also. But I wanted to touch on, boy, a real resurgence in Maryland for sure.
You know, Tim Ritfo has done an amazing job, and he's really spent a ton of time there the last year and a half, and, you know, he's given me the opportunity to run Gulfstream Park, and I tell you, we have such a great team, and it's a pleasure to come to work every day and, you know, have the opportunities that we have. And, you know, the Maryland Jockey Club and the Stronach Group in Maryland have done an amazing job, and, you know, we hired Sal Sinatra out of Parks, and he's just a pure racing guy, and we really have a good team, and there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for the Stronach Group, and we're very excited to be here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's an exciting time and an exciting, certainly, day coming up tomorrow. Florida Derby and the undercard stakes as well. Just before we move on, I want to talk a little bit. Just give us your background, because folks certainly familiar with the name. If you've been around as long as I have, yeah, but talk a little bit about how you got into the game and your dad.
Well, Dad was a trainer, and you know, for many, many years in the NYRA circuit and here in Florida winter, and just grew up, you know, basically in the barn and working with horses. And you know, my dad won the Kentucky Derby at Pleasant Colony in 1981, and, you know, he's won thousands of races, and just kind of grew up in the industry. And then, you know, had the opportunity, went to Siena College in upstate New York and got an accounting degree, and had the opportunity to intern at NYRA. And then I was hired under Mike Lakehow when I first started, and I was at NYRA for 16 years. And then just had a great opportunity to come to the Stronach Group, and, you know, I just couldn't turn it away. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, you hope your new adventures pan out, and I couldn't be any more happier.
Yeah, and again, congratulations to you, the whole group down here, for putting together a great season. And as I say, the entire group and the different venues seem to be doing very, very well across the country. We're looking forward to tomorrow. PJ, appreciate your being here. I appreciate you folks hosting us here. The crew this morning has been great. We're going to be back on tomorrow morning as well. So thanks to you and everybody at Gulfstream for hosting, sponsoring some of the programs for us throughout the championship winter meet. We'll talk again.
Thank you. Enjoy the partnership.
All right. And we're going to head now to a tape piece. We talked to Johnny Velasquez yesterday. He's got a few horses in tomorrow. We talked about a couple of those. Talked about off the tracks, who's first time with Johnny, first time with Todd Pletcher, going to go on the Gulfstream Park Oaks. He had some thoughts there. We also talked about Elusive Collection and the Honey Fox. And then, of course, Todd Pletcher, beyond this weekend, has some 3-year-olds of interest that John's been on. Zulu, Outwork, and last weekend he was on the Fairground Oaks winner for Doug O'Neill, Landover Sea. So we got comments on all of that coming up. John Velasquez, stay tuned. We'll continue here